the first unit when you're learning After Effects. Now in this unit, we go through the basics of After Effects to set up the stuff that we're going to be learning with in our upcoming videos. Over here, we're going to be creating or starting off with at least one layer so that you get used to how the things are supposed to be when you go forward. Now, with all of this, let's start with the very basics, which is where do I start from? What is the first thing that I need to do when you're opening After Effects? Let's start it directly from there. So for this, I will start After Effects, and here I go. I'm using the 2024 version. Now it might change a couple of versions that you're working on, but more or less it will sound or it will look the same. So this is what we have. This is the first screen that generally opens up when you're opening After Effects. You can see a couple of projects over here. There are a few projects that I have had recently worked on. That's what are visible over here. And on this panel, the other couple of things that you could see is basically our tutorials section over here. And you can start off with a basic tutorial which is available in After Effects. And there's something which is called Go to Learn. Learn is the space in which you can learn a lot about Adobe softwares. And this is one of those. And then on the side over here, I can see the new project item. This is the button from where I will start for this particular one. And similarly, we will have something called Open Project. In case you've already worked on a project which is not visible over here in the recent projects, you could always go from here and previously worked on project. So let's get started with the new one over here. And when I click new project over here, this is what I do see. Now, more or less, the visuals on my screen might look similar to yours. It's not necessary that the visuals will be exactly same. And here's the reason why. After Effects and many more other softwares that we work with in Adobe are made using panels. There are a lot of different panels for different use cases and the different stuff that you would want to do in all of these softwares. So let's say if you wanted to create a new layer, there's a different panel for that. There is a different panel for the project, which is basically your entire bin that you're going to be working with. There could be a panel for colors. There could be a panel for typing characters. And we'll see all of these panels as and when we come across the use case. To get started, I am looking at this one. My sort of panels might look slightly different. And the most basic item that I would want you to understand is you can always go to Window over here. Now, this is going to be very similar whether you're working in Mac or in PC. Both of these places, the things are going to be very similar. When you go to Window, the first couple of drop-downs over here, the first one is Workspace, right? And what we are going to be working with is basically the standard sort of workspace, which has a dedicated style of the different panels which are there on the screen. Now, this is where the project panel is. This is what it's written over here. There's something for composition. This is the main area for that. And there are a couple of other panels which are available over here. Info, effects and presets, and there's something for render queue, and then one called done. Now, each of these panels are freely movable in the entire workspace. So if you have a 2-system or hopefully a 4-monitor system, what you could do is move around any of these panels. So you can take a panel and you can drag it out anywhere on the entire screen. So let's say if you'd want to keep it right next to the project one over here, I'm still holding my click and I can drag it and bring it right over here. So that way I have the effects panel somewhere else. Similarly, I could move this and keep it, let's say, right over here. So it's underneath the info panel now. And similarly, I can move around all the panels. I can even undock it and move it around on the screen just like this. So let's say if I had 2 screens, I could move this one out and keep it on the other one. For the sake of this particular video, we will stick to only a single screen, and this is what we are going to be working with. Now, getting back to it, the panels that we were looking at were something like this. There are a couple of panels that you need to know for sure because you're going to be working with them thoroughly throughout the entire projects. So the first one is of course called the project panel. This is the entire lot that you're going to be working with in After Effects. So every file that you're going to be working on has to be definitely available in the project panel, and then you can use it. You might use it only once, or you might use it a million times. But in both of those cases, the file has to be available in the project panel. Then we have the composition area over here. This is going to be the screen. When you start working with the screen, this is going to be the visual that you will see. That's basically where you'll see everything which is coming together in your final video, if you're going to be creating that. Then we have the timeline panel right over here, which is generally on the lower side of the screen. Now, this is where the layers that you're going to be working with. You are going to be seeing multiple layers over here, and them on the timeline. This is the timeline over here, where you'll see as we start working with the composition, you'll see how the timeline is also played out. And then, of course, with each of these, you could see that there are few things which are name, and then I can see something called frame over here. And these are very similar to how you might have seen different tables across different softwares. So you can move around. You can move around these. So I could probably reduce the size of the source name. Currently, there's nothing in it, so that's why it doesn't change. But once we have that, you might be able to check all of this and reduce or increase the size as necessary. So these are the three most important panels. Couple of other things. The menu bar is going to be used a lot. We could have a lot of things over here. Where you're working with menu bar, sometimes you might not find the shortcut for something, and then you can always go to the menu bar and get it done from there. And then this is the toolbar menu, the toolbar. This is where all of the tools that you're going to be working with in After Effects are going to be visible. The most basic one is the selection tool, which is you can select it by pressing B on your keyboard, and then there are a couple of other tools. All of these are going to be visible over here. And on this side, you can see that there are some things which are written default, review, learn, small screen, and standard. If you remember standard, that's the workspace. You can see that if I change it to small screen, the panels would change. There's standard, there's libraries, there's review, there's something else called frame IO that's useful when you're working with multiple teams. So it might be using that. All of these are different workspaces that you can always change. Now, this is the most basic aspect of After Effects, which is understanding the workspace. Once you've understood the workspace, we'll continue working with all of these things. But don't be fettered if you are not completely thorough with what's coming next. It's okay, because as and when you keep practicing with After Effects, keep on going through the projects and you keep on looking at these things again and again, you will get more comfortable with how things are over here. So again, as I said, all of this is just a start. It's okay if you're trying and testing out a couple of new things, but try getting used to it as much as possible. And the most important thing is you keep on practicing. And when you do that, you'll actually reap results. Well, that's all that I have for this particular video. I will see you in the next one.